She stole my future, my career, and even my name. For years, everyone believed she was the successful one. She lived in a luxury apartment, drove expensive cars, and became the daughter my parents were proud of. Meanwhile, I was forced to live in the shadows, watching my own life disappear. But she made one mistake. She forgot that the truth always finds a way back. And one unexpected phone call exposed every lie she had built. My name is Ethan Carter, and 5 years ago, I thought losing my job was the worst thing that could ever happen to me. I had no idea that my biggest enemy wasn't a stranger, a competitor, or even a criminal. It was someone who shared my blood. Someone who grew up sitting next to me at the same dinner table. Someone I trusted more than anyone in this world. My younger sister, Olivia. Growing up, Olivia and I were completely different. I was the quiet one. The person who stayed late studying, worked hard, and believed success came from patience. Olivia was charming, confident, and knew exactly how to make people like her. She could walk into a room full of strangers and leave with everyone believing she was their best friend. My parents always said Olivia had a special gift, and maybe she did, but I never imagined that gift would become the reason she destroyed my life. After college, I created a technology company with a simple idea. I spent years researching, building prototypes, and working day and night. I didn't have investors. I didn't have rich connections. I only had my determination. Slowly, my company started growing. A few small investors became interested. Bigger companies started contacting me. For the first time in my life, I felt like everything I sacrificed was finally paying off. Then Olivia came back into my life. She told me she was proud of me. She said, "Ethan, you always believe in your dreams. I knew you would make it." Those words meant everything to me, because I never expected the person saying them was secretly planning to steal everything. One night, Olivia called me crying. She said she was going through a difficult time. She had lost her job and needed help. She told me she didn't need money. She only wanted advice. I invited her to my office. I showed her my business documents, my future plans, my investor information. I explained everything because she was my sister. I trusted her. That was my biggest mistake. A few weeks later, something strange happened. One of my investors suddenly stopped responding. Then another. Emails that used to receive replies within hours were ignored. I couldn't understand what was happening. Until one morning, I saw something online that completely destroyed me. A news article appeared with a picture of my sister standing beside famous business executives. The headline said, "Young entrepreneur Olivia Carter raises $20 million for revolutionary technology company." I stared at the screen. My hand started shaking because the company name was mine. The technology was mine. The business plan was mine. But the person getting all the credit was my sister. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Maybe someone had used my information accidentally. Maybe there was an explanation. But then I saw her interview. A reporter asked Olivia, "How did you create such an innovative company at such a young age?" She smiled confidently and said, "I spent years developing this idea. I always knew I was destined for success." My heart stopped. She didn't just steal my company. She stole my entire identity. She changed documents, copied my research, and convinced investors that she was the original founder. She had taken my name, my work, and my future. I immediately contacted my lawyers. But then I discovered something even worse. Olivia had planned everything months before. She had created fake records showing that I was only an employee working under her. She had manipulated everyone into believing I was the assistant. And she was the genius behind everything. The world believed her. My parents believed her. Even my closest friends started questioning me. My own father looked at me and said, "Ethan, maybe you were just jealous of your sister's success." Those words hurt more than losing my company, because the people who should have protected me were defending the person who destroyed me. I had nothing left. No company, no reputación, no family support. For months, I struggled. I worked small jobs just to survive. Everywhere I went, I saw Olivia's face on business magazines. She became a millionaire using my life. She bought a mansion. She appeared on television. She was celebrated as a genius entrepreneur. And I became the forgotten person behind her success. But Olivia made one mistake. She became too confident. She started believing she was untouchable. 1 year later, she invited me to a family dinner. I almost refused, but something inside me told me to go. When I arrived, everyone was celebrating. My parents were smiling. Olivia walked toward me wearing a designer dress and holding a glass of champagne. She looked at me and said, "Ethan, I hope you finally accepted that some people are meant to succeed and some people aren't." Everyone laughed. I stayed silent because I knew something she didn't. I had spent the last year collecting evidence. Old emails, original designs, server records, infestor conversations, everything. I was ready to expose her. But before I could do anything, my phone rang. I looked at the screen. It was an unknown number. Normally, I would ignore it, but something told me to answer. I said, "Hello." A man's voice replied, "Is this Ethan Carter?" "Yes." "Who is this?" The man paused. Then he said, "My name is Daniel Brooks. I was one of Olivia Carter's biggest investors." My heart started racing. He continued, "I think you need to know the truth about your sister." I walked outside to hear him better. Daniel told me something unbelievable. Months earlier, he discovered suspicious information about Olivia's company. During an internal investigation, his team found that thousands of files had been copied from my original accounts. They also discovered that Olivia had lied to investors. The technology she claimed to create was actually mine. But that wasn't all. Daniel said, "Ethan, we have evidence that your sister committed fraud. We need you to come forward." For the first time in years, I felt hope. The next morning, everything changed. News channels started reporting an investigation into Olivia Carter's company. The same reporters who once praised her were now asking questions. Investors demanded answers. Employees started revealing the truth. And slowly, the world discovered what really happened. Olivia didn't become successful because she was a genius. She became successful because she stole someone else's life. Within weeks, her company collapsed. The luxury mansion was sold. The expensive cars disappeared. The people who once surrounded her vanished. But the most painful moment for Olivia wasn't losing her money. It was losing her reputation, because she had spent years building a fake identity. And one phone call destroyed everything. Months later, Olivia contacted me. She wanted to apologize. She said, "Ethan, I made a mistake. I was jealous. I wanted people to respect me." I looked at her and asked, "Was stealing my entire life worth it?" She couldn't answer, because deep down, she knew the truth. She didn't just steal my success. She destroyed the trust between us. Today, I have rebuilt my life. I started a new company. I found new partners. And this time, my success is built on honesty. The biggest lesson I learned is simple. Some people will try to steal your achievements because they don't have the patience to create their own. But lies can only survive for so long. The truth may walk slowly, but when it arrives, it destroys everything built on deception. And my sister learned that lesson the hardest way possible, because she didn't just lose a company. She lost the one thing money could never buy back: my trust.